7 steps for selling your property.
Step 1. Do your research thoroughly. When you decide to sell your property, it is advisable to check out the market rate of the property. Ask around for the best resources and agents in the area to price it properly. Of course, you can always check online at Zameen.com's Property Price Index.
Step 2. Determine your agent's commission. Agents work on commission, which usually amounts to 1% of the property's selling price. You should work it out with them before you make a deal and finalize the commission in writing. You should know that this commission is usually paid when you get the full payment or initial deposit on your property. Just ensure that you work out these details well in advance. Step 3. Get your token money payment from the buyer. Once you find a serious buyer, you should receive a token money payment from them. This is essentially a small percentage of the property's value that you and the buyer will determine. After this, you will submit an application with the relevant land authority to get your property documents verified for the buyer. Then, both parties involved will be given a day and time to visit the authority's office so that the buyer can be shown the documents verifying the property's authenticity. Step 4. Collect the initial deposit from the buyer. After the verification, the buyer will give you an initial deposit, also known as a bayana, usually 25% of the property's value. This officially sets off the buying process as a deal is signed on stamped paper, laying out all the details involved, including the method and timeline of the remaining payment. If you back off on selling the property after a bayana is paid, you will have to pay back double the amount. Step 5. Apply for the no demand certificate. As the date of final payment approaches, you need to apply for the NDC. The transfer of property is simply not possible without this certificate, which is obtained from the Private Housing Society's office or from the city's Land Development Authority, depending on where your house or land is located. This document certifies that you don't owe any dues. It also includes information about taxes applicable on both the buyer and the seller, as well as the transfer fee and stamp duty. Ensure that a copy of it is also sent to the buyer. Step 6. Clear the taxes involved in the transaction. As a seller, you will have to pay the capital gains tax, the percentage of which depends on how soon after buying the property you are selling it and on your status as a tax filer. This will be submitted to the office of the Housing Society or the relevant land authority. As for the buyer, they will have to pay the transfer duty, stamp duty, CVT and TMA tax. Step 7. Get the transfer letter made and you're done. When the final transfer is taking place, both you and the buyer have to be there. Both of you will visit the relevant office and the buyer will give you a pay order, after which the officer will transfer the property to the buyer's name and issue a letter detailing the transaction. This is the final step, as you will receive your money in a few days and you'll be done.
Now you can rest. Because of these guidelines, you have avoided unnecessary complications and achieved the outcome you deserve.